Welcome to SOTI TV, your #1 source for enterprise mobile technology. My name is Shash Anand, Senior VP of Product Strategy. And now you might be wondering, where are our usual hosts for today? Well, the truth is, we had to fire them. No, I'm just kidding. The truth is, I'm much better looking. That is true, actually. But with our hosts not here, I thought about it and I have some really big shoes to fill. And so I was thinking, who should I bring on board with me to help me with SOTI TV? And I thought about it and I thought, you know what? I need to bring the man, the myth, the legend. I have to bring in our president and CEO, Mr. Carl Rodrigues. Hey, Carl.
Thank you, and I'm wearing my big shoes today, so we're all good.
Good. So, Carl, we have a very special guest today, and I wanted to introduce him. He's actually a former employee of SOTI, started back in 2010, and now is the Senior Director of Business Development at Urovo. Hey, Sergio. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Very good, very good. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey in the mobile space. Let's start off with that.
For sure. Well, yeah, thank you for having me, by the way.
Yeah.
So my name is Sergio Chaves. I started my career off here at SOTI, actually.
Yeah.
So that was quite a long time ago. I started off...
And Sergio, why did you leave SOTI? Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, but we're going to cut that one out. So I started off my career here in support, technically supporting the product, in the Windows Mobile days. Boy, do I miss those days, actually.
Wow,
sometimes.
yeah.
Windows Mobile, what a great platform that used to be.
It was a great platform, you're right.
And, I worked my way up and ended up moving up to sales here at SOTI, which kicked off my career into a few other industries. After that, I worked at an organization that made, handheld wearable devices.
ProGlove, right?
Yeah, it was ProGlove.
Nice.
And, they made really good wearable units based in Germany.
Nice.
And now at Urovo, we have quite a line of different products, from tablets to mobile handhelds, RFID, Bluetooth-enabled devices, magnetically attachable printers, and we cover a whole wide variety of different industries, actually. So it's kind of neat. It's gone full circle.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, on SOTI TV, we like to play a little game just to kind of get things started, and it's called Rapid Fire Round. So this is a simple game. We're just going to ask a few questions, and you got to give me the first response that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, Carl,
Give it a
too.
shot.
You good with that?
First?
I'll start with Sergio
He's
first.
the guest.
Yeah, he's the guest. Guest first.
Okay, yeah.
Then I'll ask you, and I'll try to answer it too.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do this. So, first question. Who is the faster in innovation, China or the West?
I'm going to have to say, after just visiting China last week.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah, I was just there. I got to say it's them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen footage of them tear down a bridge and put it back together in 24 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Technology is it's definitely being made there, and they're innovating quite quickly.
Yeah.
90% of what I saw in one of the cities was electric vehicles. Almost 90% of the city.
Amazing.
With banned motorcycles as well. Via gas, it has to be electric motorcycles, so it's 100% electric in that city as well.
Cool. Okay. Carl, what about you? China or the West?
I would
Faster
say
innovator.
traditionally, it was the West, right?
Yep.
And China was just kind of, was making stuff. The West would outsource stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say, probably in the last 5 years, there's a lot of really, really cool tech that's coming out of China, in their advancements in electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Battery technology, even space stuff, lots of things. So I think China seems to have taken a step forward.
Yeah, I have to say, I kind of agree with Carl. China was always kind of the copycatter in the beginning, I would say. The US was innovating, and they'd kind of see what was being done and try to replicate. But ever since they've moved into the manufacturing and we've outsourced the manufacturing to them, they've taken on that innovation. They've improved the quality and quantity, and it's just been amazing. But next question. What is the first mobile device you ever owned?
The first mobile device.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe it was a Samsung flip phone.
Okay, Samsung?
Yeah, I believe so.
Nice. Okay.
The first smart or the first mobile?
First mobile phone you've ever
Okay,
owned.
I'm pretty sure it was a Samsung. It was miniature. It was minuscule. It was super small.
Yeah.
At the time, phones were getting smaller and smaller, and that's what people wanted. But
Yeah.
I have to say it was Samsung. The first smart device I had
Yeah.
was a Palm Pilot Trio.
Oh, you had the Palm Pilot.
Yeah, which
Nice.
was Windows Mobile 6.5, I believe.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, with a stylus.
Good point. So feature phone, smartphone. Okay, what about you, Carl? Do you remember?
Yeah, so I think the first one was kind of like a bar phone.
Okay.
And it was a Nokia phone. It had the little thumb kind of antenna on the corner.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool at the time.
Yeah.
But the first smartphone, I think it was a Samsung Blackjack.
The Blackjack.
They have a Samsung
I don't even
Blackjack.
know what that is.
I've heard the name. I don't remember
I
what
think
it
it
looks
was
like.
called a Samsung Blackjack, and
Okay.
yeah, it was in one of the early kind of Windows Mobile Pocket PC kind of phones in that era.
Okay. Wow. He's dating himself quite a bit.
Sergio's in the same zone.
Yeah, he looks like it.
I was going to say, his Nokia phone still works to this day.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
Those things were indestructible.
I think I had a BlackBerry. I think my first
Smart
mobile device was a BlackBerry, yeah.
Really?
I don't remember the model, but
Interesting.
I got into it a little bit later on. Yeah, I think so. I thought I had the BlackBerry pager.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, next question. This is a specific question to you. Who would you rather pitch Urovo to, Elon Musk or Donald Trump?
Oh boy, these are heavy hitters. Who would I rather pitch it to? Well, I mean, seeing as though Elon is a technology nut,
Yep.
it would have to be Elon.
Okay,
Yeah,
Elon.
okay.
All right, what about you, Carl?
I get to pitch Urovo too.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, you
cool.
can pitch SOTI. You can pitch
Yeah.
SOTI.
No, I would like to pitch Urovo.
Urovo.
Because I would just like to see the expression on his face.
Okay.
Because he's been very kind of not so pro-China. So,
Right.
So just the expression on his face. But I don't know, he might kill me or something.
Tough things going on. I think I'd want to pitch to Elon just to meet Elon Musk and just talk to him about SOTI and what we're doing, and maybe we can manage some of those robo-taxis for them,
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
That'd be kind of cool. All right. So next up, I'm just going to give a quick rundown. What are we going to talk about in this episode? So the first thing we're going to talk a little bit about is let's go deep dive into Urovo. We'll talk a little bit about your technology, a little bit more about the devices. And then next thing we want to do is let's go a little bit deeper into battery technology. We know that batteries are extremely important, especially for mobile devices. What's going on with the latest and greatest in that tech? And finally, we'll talk a little bit about maybe a controversial topic here around tariffs and manufacturing and how that's kind of taking place and what's going on and how does that affect Urovo. So let's get this started. Sergio, what do you think? So
Sounds good.
let's start with, what do you guys, we know you're manufacturing Android devices. What makes your devices better than other devices that are out there?
So having just visited our facilities, I would definitely have to say that our production quality and capacity is great. At Urovo, we also own the supply chain.
Okay.
So everything in our facilities is owned by us, made by us, and tested by us as well.
I see.
We have the ability. We don't use third-party companies like some of the other people in this field. They actually don't make their own equipment. So
Okay.
we do. We 100% own the entire production capacity of our equipment. We're not subletting it out or third-partying that process. We
Okay.
currently have the production capacity to make 8 million units per year.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot of units. I've personally been to the plant, and the quality is fantastic. So the units are coming in; they're very cost competitive, and they're coming in with all the certifications and all the testing that needs to be done, like IP67, heat tests, vibration tests, screen suction tests. I've seen basically everything in that factory. So it's top notch. It's really good quality. I mean, you can see the actuators there doing multi-million button presses to make sure that you can press those devices, or you can slot those cards for our point of sale equipment, and you can do that over 1 million or 3 million times before the card will actually wear out. On our testing, the card actually starts to chip away, and you'll see dust and debris of the card.
Oh, wow.
Before our devices will ever take a hit.
And you mentioned an acronym. I'm not sure if everyone knows IP67. Can you just explain what that is for our audience?
Sure. Yeah, so IP67 is the ingress dust protection, and 67 means that it's both water and dust resistant up to a certain degree or up to a certain amount of submersion.
I mean, these are some of the devices that you brought, Sergio, right?
Yes.
Do you want to tell us what these are?
For sure, yeah. So actually, this is our latest unit here. This unit is fantastic. It is our DT610. So this unit is definitely going to be, I think, a favorite. It is my currently favorite. It uses a absolute latest Qualcomm chipset. All of our devices use Qualcomm chips. We're good partners with them.
Okay.
And this is using the absolute latest Qualcomm chip, the QC 6690M, and I don't believe any other manufacturer has used that chipset yet. So it's ultra fast. It's got both RFID built in up to about 3 feet, barcode scanner, in-screen NFC. So it's got everything. It supports Apple Pay. It can do quite a lot of things with this unit. This right here, as an example, is a Bluetooth pairable scanner as well as long-range RFID. So if you wanted to, you could put that on there, and you can get a much larger range of RFID.
How far is the range of RFID from that?
For this, it's about 60 feet.
60 feet?
Yeah, you can hit about 60 feet. Depending on the use case.
Because I tried one of the other ones from another manufacturer, and we were getting about 8 feet or 10 feet out of that.
It depends on the tag, and it does. There are circumstances which it's obviously much easier and better to read. Even with a barcode scanner, the laser itself, it can read quite far. But
yeah, they can go really far.
Yeah, but this unit right here. One of the great things about Urovo is the flexibility of the organization. So how we stand out, I should say, is the fact that, as an example, this unit right here, we are currently mocking up and creating different angles for customer use cases based on their requirements. So, the customer wanted to be able to have their end user in the retail store, while they're scanning things on the shelf, not have to bend their wrist. So we can come to market with a new product quite quickly, and we can dynamically change and produce very quickly for custom scenarios. So this itself is actually prototyping right here. Is these units here and the angle itself. The unit doesn't really have much of an angle. It's actually quite further down here. So this itself is a prototype. So I probably shouldn't be showing you that, but.
And what's this here, Sergio? This is my favorite. Right?
You brought a lot of toys.
I did.
And is it loaded?
So that is it loaded. That is an ultra lightweight barcode scanner.
I can take out our camera guys back here.
You could. That's meant for in retail stores. So for cashing out or checking out.
This is a scanner. This is like
barcode scanner.
One of those bigger ones we see at the store, but it's like really compact.
Lightweight?
Yeah, extremely lightweight. It's pogo pin connector. It's very small. It's meant for retail stores. It's not the first time we've actually had to modify equipment for specific retail scenarios. We had some scenarios where there were folks that were using our handheld long-range RFID gun. So we made it about 30% lighter and smaller for certain industries, because those folks didn't want to have to hold something really heavy. So we can come to market and make those changes really quickly.
How is the RFID doing, by the way? Overall?
RFID is certainly climbing. So two of the top 3 retailers and companies in all of the Americas have basically mandated that RFID is going to be a requirement.
Okay.
So, and also it's gotten significantly cheaper to make RFID tags.
I was wondering,
That was a huge concern. So, you can print them for about 6 cents versus 1 cent a tag. If you're going to print a tag like this, that's about 1 cent a tag.
Yeah.
An RFID tag will cost you about 6 cents a tag, but it's I thought maybe it'd be like $1 each tag when I first started.
Yeah, I remember.
But what are you guys seeing? Like, are you seeing the majority of, let's say, scans are still barcodes, or?
Yeah, the vast majority of scans
far more,
are.
right?
Yes, I would say so.
Is RFID kind of climbing up? Or like, are you seeing much more adoption of RFID tags?
I am, especially on manufacturing or on in retail stores, right? For counting inventory much faster.
Mm-hmm.
And what about like, so when you talk about the barcodes scanning stuff, do you guys just make the physical hardware, or do you guys actually make some of the software related to the, for example, the barcode printing, design, that kind of stuff? Or do you stay just to the hardware side, or do you actually have some on the software side as well?
No, we do actually have an entire team dedicated to the software piece. So we do quite a bit in AI, battery management, but we have both print and scan SDKs so that you can develop your application to leverage some of the features, right? Like tweaking the radio and the distance, that would be a feature of the SDK. So by embedding that, you can have your app automatically for certain environments, right? If you're scanning the shelf, you only need 3 feet of distance, so you can have your app automatically reduce the radio.
Yeah. I mean, am I allowed to say Zebra? So Zebra, for example, they have, I think it's called Zebra Designer, barcode design software. So do you guys get into those sort of things? Those have all those tools and things like that to do those sort of things, or?
We do have some applications for leveraging scanning. I don't know if we have a design barcode studio, but we do have applications to use the scanners and the printers.
Are there particular verticals that you guys specialize in? So do you guys, like your competitors, some of them are good at, really have a majority of their business in a certain vertical. So does Urovo focus in certain verticals, or are there, you're just focused on all verticals? I was just curious.
We do have quite a few different verticals that we work in. So we work in retail, logistics, healthcare.
But do you guys focus on anything in particular, or no?
It depends on what region you're in, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
So in certain regions, like Europe, as an example, is our largest region to date. They focus on manufacturing and warehousing.
Okay.
And Asia, I'd say healthcare might be bigger for us.
Right.
And in retail stores, because in Asia they have a completely different way of cashing out or checking out devices I've never even seen here.
Okay.
For a QR code presentation. It's almost similar to, the way you would pay with crypto. You'd show a QR code.
Yeah.
And that's how you would do transactions. In Asia, they do those.
Oh, okay.
Here we do not. That doesn't even exist.
And I would guess, okay, so you're a Chinese company, right? So,
Yeah, so technically we do have manufacturing in China, but we're technically a Singapore-based company.
oh, sorry. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, but where is your base? Like, where is your is most of your customer base in the Far East, or because I remember a few years ago I started to see you guys first more in Europe, like and now I think I see you guys a bit more in the Americas. So I'm saying, where's your base, and where are you seeing your growth coming from?
So traditionally, so I've been on board for about 9 months now. Traditionally, our base was Europe. That was our largest customer base.
Okay.
It is our currently our top region.
Oh wow.
Is
Bigger
Europe.
than China, bigger
Than
Asia.
Asia.
Bigger than Asia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bigger
And
than
where's
Asia.
your growth? Are you seeing still the growth mostly in Europe, or is it in Asia, or the Americas?
No, the Americas is now our I would say our largest growth is now coming from America.
Probably because they hired Sergio, right?
Appreciate
I was
that.
going to ask, how is the growth in the West? Like, has it been hard to get the name out? Has it been hard around that area, or?
So I mean, as an organization, it's the brand recognition and awareness wasn't here when I started.
Yeah.
Primarily because Urovo actually in the past used to do quite a few white labeling for other manufacturers.
Oh, okay.
So technically Urovo, which is 23 years old today,
Yeah.
the company is 23 years old. We've been in the U.S., but under different solutions. The parent company, Urovo, is now in full focus and is the primary attention of our CEO.
So they decided, let's stop white labeling
Exactly.
and let's just create our own brand.
And no, the brand there always has been a parent, Urovo, but
Got
it's
it.
never been the primary focus.
Got it.
So now
Okay.
Urovo, the brand, is the primary focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about customers, obviously, and when I talk about customers, retail, T&L, our enterprise customers. Battery technology is kind of extremely important to them.
Right.
If the devices look cool and they function well, but they don't last long, then they're kind of useless. And most of the workers that we work with, that work with these devices, are in shift work, right?
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your batteries versus maybe other companies that start with the letter Z, and how do you kind of compete with these types of, how do you compete on battery technology?
Well, so in order to maintain the battery functionality,
Yeah.
which by the way, I'm very fascinated when it comes to batteries.
Oh, okay.
Maybe because I own an EV myself.
Okay.
So I've learned everything possible about them. From a Urovo perspective, we leverage AI. So we've got a team that does BMS, battery management systems.
Okay.
And we ensure that we undervolt and we cap charge cycles so that it doesn't charge above a certain rate. If you charge your device to 100,
Yeah.
it reduces its lifespan. If you let it drain below 20, that also reduces the lifespan as well.
Right.
So we use automated AI to determine charge cycles and make sure that the device is not being charged too much or charged too little.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes, because some
and then
devices
also
you can
keeping
turn
it
off.
cool as well, because heat is one of the main factors of crystallization, which is it creates those crystals in the battery that actually make it last not as long.
So you guys have your own, I guess your own battery management software is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, we use intelligent batteries which have microchips in them so that you can program smart batteries. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. Cool. But is your battery management technology? I mean, is it you guys make the batteries, or are they made by someone else, or?
So no, right now we don't manufacture the batteries ourselves. We have good connections with a supplier that supplies us with the batteries.
I know in China they have I believe the largest battery manufacturer in the world is CATL, CATL.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys use their stuff, but these guys actually doing some really cool stuff with batteries right now.
Yeah, I know that the entire plant has an entire section just for batteries.
Yeah.
So as I was there, they completely separate it with a firewall, and there's a lot of protection and a lot of testing that goes before the battery goes into the device. It's been thoroughly drain tested, heat and cold temperature tested. So that was something I thought was pretty neat. I didn't realize they did that, but they test every single battery for all the voltages, for all the heat cycles, and if it fails anything, it does not get put into production, into the device.
Yeah, we've had some customers who use these batteries, these devices in pretty extreme temperatures. Some of them, they have to go into freezers and things like that, or they're using it, in the far north. So it's it has to deal with extreme cold temperatures. But there's also some that have to deal with some customers, pretty high temperatures as well.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Airlines, loading bags on the plane. That's it's cold in the winter.
That's true.
Yeah, putting those definitely have require defogging and heating elements in order to keep the battery at an optimal temperature.
So you said you're pretty good with the batteries. You've been studying batteries. You have an electric vehicle. Which one do you have?
So I currently drive a Tesla.
Okay, nice.
And I'm fascinated by battery technology. Absolutely fascinated by it. I cannot wait until which batteries I think are the limiting factor on why everyone hasn't bought one, or why we don't have, flying cars. I think I don't want to foreshadow there, but I think we should definitely be excited about it, because right now they've got solid state batteries coming out, and solid state batteries have way more advantages than current lithium ion, right?
Okay.
So they're significantly lighter. They have almost no risk of fire because of the state or the chemical in the middle between the anode and the cathode. It's a solid, right? So
I see. Safety-wise,
safety-wise, it's lighter. It'll store
longer.
significantly more energy. So I'm pretty excited about that.
But the battery technology is actually evolving pretty fast. So I was talking about that Chinese company, CATL. These guys have come up with a new, I think it's called a lithium metal battery. Okay. And with these, they're saying that you can get 1,000, with putting those in an EV, they can get over 1,000 kilometers. That's over 600 miles of range.
Wow.
Per
Right?
charge.
Per charge, right? So they're coming a long way, I would say, and you're seeing these jumps in battery technology. Literally, I feel every quarter, right?
Yeah.
Every quarter
Coming
there's
out
a new
with a new
company coming, a new
chemistry.
thing, and BYD I think has a hybrid now, and they're saying with that thing they can do 2,000 kilometers. You know, if you take like a full tank of gas and a full charge, you can do 2,000. So it's pretty crazy the amount of range that's coming out of these new things.
Is that the one where it's not actually using the gas to run the engine, it's using the gas to recharge the battery so the battery can move the engine?
I don't know exactly. I would guess it uses uses the engine sometimes and the motor sometimes, and sometimes one is charging the motor, or the brakes are charging the battery. I'm not sure, but 2,000 kms.
That's
a lot.
pretty good. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I get about 400 or 500 kilometers out of the Tesla, so a big difference there. That's great. You mentioned flying cars. Did you see any flying cars while you were in China?
I did not, other than the videos that I've seen. I didn't see any flying cars, but like I said, energy is the primary, the reason I'm excited about batteries is because energy is the reason we don't have flying cars. If we all had, Tony Stark's chest thing, I don't even know what you call that, his thermal reactor, nuclear, tiny little nuclear reactor. If we all had something like that, we would 100% have flying cars by now.
But they do. I mean, China is especially. There's a bunch of companies, but there's a company in China. It's called EHang.
EHang.
And I think we have a video on that. And that's actually what you're looking at is their two-seater kind of flying drone. And I believe they're being evaluated by various police forces around the world now.
Wow.
I think 100 minutes of flying, 300-kilometer range. So we're getting to that era, where these devices are going to become the norm. So they're great for why police forces are interested. They can get within a city to a problem on any street corner or whatever, really fast. They don't have to worry about traffic jams, they just have to get there. And these things are pretty small, so they can literally park them and bring them down vertically anywhere.
Right.
And I was even doing a bit of research, and it's just a point and shoot to fly. You literally go to the map, you just click on where you want to go, and you literally sit there and it goes there.
So it's like autonomous.
Fully autonomous way of flying. You don't really need many skills, right?
Right.
You just got to have a good couple of fingers.
How fast do you think they go? Do they go pretty?
And distance, I was going to ask. How far do they go?
I think the distance is 300 kilometers right now. So
that's
for
a lot more than I thought.
Inner city travel, it's pretty good. To get to a problem, a traffic, a situation for cops and all that. Pretty good. And I imagine in the next couple of years that's gonna double and triple.
Yeah.
So the battery technology is really evolving, I would say, pretty fast.
I could imagine. I'm just now my brain is going.
I was thinking about a lot of use cases just now.
You know how you've seen those Amazon drone videos, or I've seen a couple of videos where they actually have a drone, and then there's a care package coming down on the zip line. In order to keep it quiet, you keep the drone up here, but the care package comes down with fans and fins, so it can hover and land precisely. You could drop police officers in by it. You bring the drone in, and they use a zip line to just come down, and the drone can go, and they can, zip into the area.
It's the next Hollywood movie there.
The Minority Report.
There you go. So, so let's switch topics a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about tariffs. As we know, tariffs has been a big topic in terms of worldwide. We see that America is kind of increasing tariffs all around. How has that affected Urovo? And has it affected the manufacturing? Has it affected the price?
Our CEO has actually, I guess, maybe foreshadowed this and set out multiple different sites for manufacturing many years ago.
Okay.
So we have, as an example, our point of sale equipment. We've got manufacturing in Brazil. primarily there. We've got manufacturing. We do have in Shenzhen in China, we have manufacturing there, but we also have India as well. So
yeah, a lot of companies are going to India right now.
Yeah. So we've diversified our manufacturing just in case, right? You never know.
Okay, so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
And kind of going to China.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when it comes to when it comes to tariffs, we actually haven't been affected as of January of this year. We actually reduced our price in North America by a substantial amount, roughly 40+%. And,
yeah, but Sergio, didn't the tariffs kick in? I think after Trump came in 21st, right? January 21st.
True.
So they would all kicked in after that point. So I mean, have you guys been affected after that?
No, we haven't, and we haven't actually increased our cost either. I know that some of our competitors have gone up once or twice since the tariffs have taken place, but we have not, and we do not need to as well. Yeah. I think the big misconception when it comes to tariffs is the understanding of how they actually work. Okay. I don't think people quite know. As an example, if a major shoe company, if they manufacture the shoes for $3 a pair. Okay. They ship them to the U.S. for a total cost of $2 a pair. So their landed cost is $5 a shoe. They would pay tariffs on either the $3 or the $5. And even if it was a 100% tariff, that would only bring the cost of that shoe up to $10. And then the manufacturer still sells that shoe for $150 or $200. So they're only losing like $5 or $10 of profit. The tariff is not based on the total cost of the sale. It's the total cost of the import of product.
Yeah, but on hardware, from what I know, I mean there's a slim margin, right? So when we've been in this business and whenever we talk to hardware manufacturers, and they have a very slim margin, but I imagine that could be significant because they're always fighting with that what they call the BOM costs, right?
Right.
I was just curious, a lot of American, let's say, manufacturers, like our favorite manufacturer we've been talking about, or not favorite, but one of the ones that starts with Z, right, or Z, they manufacture some stuff in China, right? Yeah. You guys manufacture some stuff in China. They're an American company, you're a Singaporean company, I guess. Does the tariff affect you guys equally, or not, or because in the end both products are like a particular product. Yeah. Okay, let's say you take a product manufactured in China, like
it would be affected.
Both products are manufactured. Is it roughly the same or different for you guys?
No, it would be identical. I mean, it's where the product is manufactured, not where the company is headquartered. Right. Yeah. So tariffs are paid on importing. Right, so it'd be based on the country. Right, we bring products into Brazil or the U.S. or Canada. And you would pay import on the cost of the item at that port of entry.
Okay. Yeah. So it's on the cost.
So, yeah, which is also how we're able to remain, I think, even more competitive because our costs are lower because we own the supply chain, we own the manufacturing, so we have a very high amount of devices that we can make, and we can keep our costs down. So there's a lot of overhead with our competitors as well. Yeah. We have a much lower overhead, a much lower cost that will allow us to actually even save costs on, even if there are tariffs. Our competitors would get hit much harder than us, I think. Are
you guys a public company?
We are publicly traded on the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. Yeah. We're not publicly traded in the U.S. yet.
Yeah, so for example, the Zebra stock, I think before the tariffs hit, was over $400 US, trading on a U.S. stock exchange. I think now they're still, they dropped, but even now they're under 300, right? So their stock is still, to this day, is still affected, right? And I guess that's indicative of how much the tariffs affect them, right? So you're saying this, you're not seeing any such effect on your business at all?
Well, we haven't, because, and I think it's because our devices are much more competitive cost-wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
fair enough.
We don't plan and have not raised our cost since tariffs came in place.
Do you have any reduced prices, which is pretty
we reduced prices and never raised them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So our cost on our equipment is it's fantastic, and the equipment is all extremely well tested and is designed for fully rugged environments. So it's not a lack of production quality. Maybe it's an overhead, to be honest. There's a lot of overhead with
do you have any do you have any thoughts? Like there's a lot of pressure these days, to manufacture in the U.S. So Trump, for example, he's been beating up Apple. He wants the phones fully manufactured in the U.S. But they're saying $1,000 iPhone, if it were manufactured in the U.S., would cost $3,000, $10,000
because of the labor cost.
$3,000. And I guess it's largely because of the labor costs in the U.S. But even John Deere, companies like that, they've been shifting to manufacture in Mexico, and now there's pressure on them to really bring that back to the United States. So, any thoughts on that? Are you guys feeling some of that heat? If you're saying your key, you said earlier, your key expansion is in North American markets, is a key target for you, right? Is that come factor into your calculus at all, that you might want to manufacture, or are you guys feeling some heat, or you think you're good to go as is?
So that's a great question, and I'm going to quote Tim Cook on this one, because I just recently heard him discuss this point, which makes perfect sense, and seen with my own eyes as well. I've also seen it. The reason that we don't do a lot of that manufacturing in North America is not because of cheap labor. That is a wild misconception.
Okay.
And what the real reason is because of tool and die. So China doesn't just have more cost-effective labor, because actually the city that I was in, I couldn't even buy a purse for my wife. They were like $5,000. I couldn't believe it.
But it's because you were sitting in the bar.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's because of actually tool and die. So they have all of the equipment that not only makes equipment, but can make specific specialized parts that can bend metal into the frame that you need for a phone. All the precision. They also have the skilled labor to do the job that needs to be done in order to precisely put this together. That currently is on, if we have any of it in North America, it is extremely limited. And almost all tool and die as a trade has gone completely downhill over the last 30 years. And if you watch any YouTube at all, there was a YouTuber I just recently saw a video. He made a wire brush to clean your barbecue.
Okay.
And he wanted to make it 100% in America. And he had the hardest time in the world finding that. He had to do it himself. He had to make the stamp and make the molds and find someone who is already retired in order to teach him how to actually mold the metal into a handle. Tool and die is one of the main reasons that production is all done there. They have the capacity, they have the facilities. And even if they also got paid $100 an hour, we would still have to have the devices made there, unless, of course, we bought the tool and die and the production back here.
I know you disagree with me, but I would still argue that, okay, we can bring the machinery from wherever it is into the United States. You can train the people, and all the rest of that. But in the end, workers in not only the U.S., in Canada as well, right? We are paid higher. There's unionization costs. There's probably a lot of rules and regulations and standards and emissions and all those things, right? That are higher in the West, and that's really, in the end, you can adjust the other things, but those are the things that have become established here, and it's going to be really, really hard to change.
Yeah, those are
True.
costs that are increasing quite a bit.
I don't disagree with you. I just know that we don't have the tool and die. So even if we did want to pay the labor costs, it's very difficult to get something produced here. Very difficult. So if you did want to, right now, you wanted to make your own device, it is extremely difficult to get that done. You wanted to, from scratch, make everything that makes it, the production capacity.
Okay.
Yeah. And regardless of how much they get paid, which I actually don't know how much they get paid, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
You thought I was going to give you easy questions, right?
I'm glad I watch a lot of YouTube. It gets the wheels spinning.
There you go.
No, that's great answers, Sergio. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Carl. That's going to wrap up today's SOTI TV episode. I just want to kind of thank you very much, Carl, for asking all those tough questions.
Well, the last time I saw Sergio, we were playing ball hockey, and I got marks on my shins from that last game. So Sergio, I wasn't going to let you get off easy there, buddy.
He never lets it go. It happened one time.
Revenge is always sweet.
There you go. And thank you, Sergio.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. And if anyone wants to contact you, what's the best way to kind of learn a little bit more about Urovo and yourself? What's the best way?
Yeah, so I'll just take on our website at www.urovo.com or reach out to me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/Sergio Chaves.
All right, if you like this episode of SOTI TV, please hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.